On Citrus TV News Live at 6, we'll sit down with the Chief of the Department of Public Safety.
Donald Trump had some strong words for the media today.
And a historic first Nobel Prize award.
Citrus TV News starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm Amico.
And I'm Jackie Prager. It's been almost 1 year since the shelter in place on Syracuse's campus.
We spoke with DPS to see what they've learned in the past year, and that's our top story tonight.
On October 14th, 2015, Syracuse went into shelter in place after a shooting off campus. Last weekend, students were rattled by another shooting close by, but for this one, there was no orange alert. Citrus TV reporter Nick Papantonis sat down with DPS to talk about campus safety.
I feel like crime in the Syracuse University area is definitely increasing, but I feel like DPS is also doing a good job combating that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's increasing or decreasing. It seems about the same as last year.
After multiple campus safety emails in recent weeks, students are starting to wonder if campus is getting less safe. To be fair, it's a normal feeling when alerts are released, but coupled with last week's shooting, concerns are heightened.
I believe like the people who lived in the surrounding areas definitely should be concerned that they didn't receive a orange alert to let them know.
After that shooting, criticism. No alert was sent from the university. DPS responding by saying there was no active threat at the time, and its chief saying Syracuse police kept his hands tied.
They don't disseminate any information to the public until they've secured the scene and they've gathered enough evidence and spoken to, at least initially, to people who witnessed this thing.
Even though they weren't able to send out any information after last week's shooting, they were still able to take away lessons from it, just like last year's shelter in place.
Some people call it a lockdown, some people called it a shelter in place, and we had to be able to educate our community. So that's one of the lessons learned, is that so that people understood what shelter in place actually meant.
This week's takeaway, DPS should be able to give students an all clear, something Maldonado is working with Syracuse officials to allow.
If we're in the same situation, we'll be at least able to send out a message as brief as it can be, simply that, you know, it's all safe and a threat no longer exists.
Reporting for Citrus TV News, I'm Nick Papantonis.
Maldonado says he's meeting with Syracuse Police Chief Frank Fowler tonight to negotiate a student outreach system.
And new developments in the case that put Syracuse University on shelter in place last year. Police say they now believe there were two shooters. Only one man has been charged with murdering Xavier Escobar. Authorities say a man admitted to being the getaway driver in the case. In exchange for a plea deal, they say he is speaking out about the case. The other alleged shooter is currently in jail for an unrelated attempted murder charge. And police are still investigating a shooting on Walnut Avenue. Authorities say 41-year-old Derek Brown fired several shots at a Syracuse police officer during a traffic stop on Sunday night, and the officer returned fire, fatally shooting Brown. The officer has been identified as Joseph Mauro. He is on administrative leave until the investigation is complete.
The university is calling for feedback from the SU community. The school will host two engagement sessions tomorrow, one at 1 o'clock and the other at 2. The earlier meeting will address campus restroom signage, and the second will focus on signage on the promenade. Both sessions will take place in Slocum Hall. Catherine Newton is the new special advisor to the chancellor and the provost. Newton will be responsible for working with the office and research and refining the campus framework program. She will also collaborate with SUNY ESF to build an academic strategic plan. Newton is also a member of the Campus Framework Advisory Group. Dean of University College, Bay Gonzalez, is the new president for the Syracuse Stage Board of Trustees. The board also welcomes 7 new members. Gonzalez says that she is beyond excited to become the president at such an exciting time in the organization's history. This is the 44th season of the locally produced professional theater group.
SU's Bandier program is on Billboard's list of the top music business schools, With only 100 students enrolled in the program, Billboard says the personalized attention each student gets is what sets the program apart. The program includes coursework from Newhouse, Whitman, and the College of Arts and Sciences.
15 public diplomacy professionals are speaking on campus in a two-day event starting today. Speakers are discussing public diplomacy issues and how to form relationships between the media and the government. Lectures will continue to be held in Newhouse 3 until 2 p.m. tomorrow. Renowned American illustrator Ellen Weinstein is speaking in the Shemin Auditorium as part of VPA's Visiting Artist Lecture Series. Weinstein lectures and conducts workshops all across the world. She has spoken in art schools in Madrid, Colombia, and Moscow. Tonight's lecture is free and ends at 8 p.m.
The senior vice presidents at Columbia Records are also speaking on campus tonight. Justin Ishak and Imran Majid are discussing their careers in the music industry as part of the Bandier program's Sawyer's Leadership Lecture Series. Their lecture begins at 6:30 in the Whitman School basement, and all SU students are invited to attend. And saxophone soloist Harry White is performing in Setner Auditorium tonight. His performance entitled Around the World in 80 Minutes and will feature music from France, Holland, and Russia. The performance begins at 8 p.m. and is free and open to the public.
Faculty at ESF are preparing a vote to remove current president Quentin Wheeler. The vote follows months of increased dissatisfaction with Wheeler's leadership. According to reporters, faculty are complaining about his hiring practices, his leadership style, and his vision for the university's future. Wheeler begins his presidency in January of 2014. And there is now a permanent memorial along Onondaga Creek Walk for Maddox Lawrence. Baby Maddox was 21 months old when she was killed by her father, Ryan Lawrence. In February, the memorial features a bench, a brick walkway, and a stone plaque that reads, quote, Maddox Lawrence, rest in the arms of the Lord, end quote. The memorial is located near where her body was found 8 months ago. And after the break, Donald Trump is facing allegations of sexual assault, but he has some strong words for his accusers.
And an unusual case in Denver is going to federal court. We'll be right back.
The rain began this morning around 7:30 a.m. but moved through the region and was out of here by mid-afternoon. It left behind some strong winds and cold temperatures. Today only got up to 58 degrees. Our low is 36, so you're going to want to bundle up if you're heading outside this evening. Is there more rain on the way? All of your answers coming with my exclusive Citrus TV 5-day forecast. Stay with us.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Donald Trump is under fire again after new sexual assault allegations surfaced Wednesday night.
The New York Times reported accounts from 2 women who claimed they were groped and kissed without consent. One is from more than 30 years ago, and the other is from 2005.
A People magazine writer, field reporter, claiming she was attacked by Trump while on assignment. The Trump campaign defended the allegations, calling the reporter, quote, politically motivated, and is threatening to sue the New York Times.
Additionally, an attorney for Trump is demanding a, quote, full and immediate retraction and apology from the Times.
These false attacks would come. I knew this day would arrive. It's only a question of when. And I knew the American people would rise above it and vote for the future they deserve.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie could face 5 to 10 years in jail. A judge has found probable cause to investigate Christie for possible misconduct related to the George Washington Bridge Lane closure scandal.
Testimony in the ongoing trial suggests Christie knew his associates were involved in a plan to shut down lanes, and the closings were intended to punish the mayor of Fort Lee for declining to support Christie's 2013 re-election bid. The case will now go to the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office.
A preliminary report is out on the Hoboken Terminal train crash, but it does not contain analysis of the crash or state probable cause. It says the New Jersey Transit train failed to stop, overrode a bumping post, and struck a wall of the terminal, killing 1 woman and injuring more than 100.
The report did find that an engineer-induced emergency brake occurred less than 1 second before the collision.
A class action lawsuit filed against the city of Denver will go to federal court. Homeless people in the city hope to stop the city from taking belongings that they leave unattended in public areas.
One homeless man who is a plaintiff in the case said that he left his camp in search for work, and when he returned 3 hours later, everything from his clothes to his tent were missing. Denver officials say they are working well within the law, and after giving warnings, they were forced to take action. According to officials, Denver spends about $40 million in programs for the homeless each year.
Portugal's former Prime Minister Antonio Guterres has been appointed as the next UN Secretary General. Guterres will take over on January 1st, 2017, when Secretary General Ban Ki-moon's term ends.
Guterres previously served as the UN High Commissioner for Refugees for 10 years and won the position over 13 other candidates.
Boko Haram has released 21 of the 300 kidnapped Chibok schoolgirls. A spokesman for the Nigerian president confirmed the release on Thursday.
The girls who were kidnapped in 2014 are currently in custody of the Department of State Services. The girls were released in exchange for 4 detained Boko Haram leaders. Thailand's long-reigning monarch, King Bhumibol Adulyadej, has died. The king has been battling blood infection and lung inflammation at the time of his death late Wednesday night.
Crowds of mourners gathered outside his hospital in Bangkok, where they wore yellow or pink clothing in his honor. The king's son, Kraunprinz Maha Vajiralongkorn, will take his place as the next king of Thailand.
His Majesty King Bhumibol was revered by the people of Thailand as a unifying national leader. He was also highly respected internationally. At this time of sorrow and loss, I hope that Thailand will continue to honor King Bhumibol's legacy of commitment to universal values and respect for human rights.
Bob Dylan is the first person primarily known as a musician to be awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature. The Swedish Academy said that he received the award for, quote, having created a new poetic expressions within the great American song tradition.
He is also the first American to be awarded the prize since Toni Morrison. The announcement was met with both praise and criticism.
The U.S. has hit back on an ongoing conflict with Yemen. The U.S. launched missiles at 3 radar sites on the coast of the Red Sea. Officials say the attack is in response to events earlier this week when Yemen fired at U.S. Navy ships.
The strike is the first time the U.S. has targeted the Houthi rebels in Yemen's civil war. American officials have not provided information on casualties.
Coming up on Citrus TV News, weather reporter Brennan Tierney will have your full forecast.
If you're taking birth control, you may be at a higher risk for depression. We'll have all the latest on a new study.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Well, it was a pretty wet morning, but luckily the rain moved off campus by mid-afternoon.
Will the rain return or dampen our weekend? Citrus TV weather anchor is in studio to let us know. Brennan?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it was a little wet this morning. Luckily, it's not going to rain for the first part of the weekend. Taking a look at your current temperatures around the region, 56 in most of the region, a little warmer as you make your way south. We're checking at 59 down in Binghamton. We're a little below average. That's mainly because of the rain that we saw this morning. You're able to see current radar. Most of the rain has moved out of the area. Luckily, it's not raining outside right now, and it should be dry for most of the evening overall. Your surface analysis map shows a cold pressure system that moved through the area with a low pressure system as well. Luckily, there's high pressure behind it that's moving into the area and will keep us dry into tomorrow and Saturday. Taking a look at your temperature tonight, 36 degrees, very, very cold. I'd expect a freeze watch to be put into effect, so definitely bundle up if you plan on going outside tonight. The winds will not be calming down either, so it's going to be pretty windy outside, 20 to 25 mile-per-hour winds overall, so definitely be careful if you're going outside tonight. Wind chills will likely be below freezing. Then your Citrus TV 5-day forecast, 55 degrees tomorrow, Friday, mostly sunny throughout the day. Not bad, but it will be a little cold. Friday night is where the cold becomes an issue, 34 degrees, so we're almost near freezing again. 65 on Saturday for the football game, and then 48 on Saturday night, so warming up a little bit. Sunday, some rain does move into the area, 72. That will be hanging around into Monday, 68, and Tuesday, a bit of a chance for some evening showers, 60 degrees as well.
All right, well, our big question for you is it going to rain or not in the big game?
Luckily, no rain for the football game. Finally back in the dome. It will be nice and warm inside. Take a jacket on your way to the dome.
All right, great. Thanks so much, Brendan.
Thanks, guys.
Taking hormonal birth control may be linked to depression. A recent study at the University of Copenhagen in Denmark found that a woman's likelihood to be diagnosed with depression increases after starting birth control, but only slightly. Researchers say more data is needed to be collected to understand this link, but the small association does not imply that birth control alone causes depression. And a new study has found a link to prostate cancer treatment and dementia. The study found that reducing testosterone levels with androgen deprivation therapy, or ADT, which is a common treatment for prostate cancer, can increase the risk for dementia. The treatment has previously been linked with Alzheimer's and depression.
Snapchat has chosen bankers for its first public offering. According to Bloomberg, Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley will be led the offering. Bloomberg said the two corporations were confirmed earlier this week. Other major banks will also join the deal.
After the break, I'll have your SU recruiting news and tonight's NHL matchups. Stay with us.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees?
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Got a quarter?
SU women's basketball coach Quentin Hillsman and a few players traveled to Charlotte, North Carolina for last night's ACC Media Day. Preseason polls project the Orange to finish 4th in the ACC this season. Syracuse is coming off a trip to the Final Four that saw the team compete in the national championship. Cuse will have to find a way to replace Brianna Butler's production if they hope to replicate last year's success. Butler currently is in the WNBA championship as a member of the Los Angeles Sparks. And 4-star high school shooting guard Brandon Rudolph has chosen the University of Arizona over Syracuse. Rudolph is the latest SU recruit who committed to play basketball somewhere else. Cuse still doesn't have a commit for the class of 2017. The Orange is just one of 2 teams still searching to secure its first commitment. There will be an Orange reunion in Atlanta next year in professional lacrosse. The Charlotte Hounds just traded 2016 Cuse alum Dylan Donahue to the Blaze, where he'll join his former Syracuse teammates Kevin Rice and Randy Stotts. Donahue was traded for Duke alum Deemer Class and ex-Johns Hopkins attackman Wells Stanwyck. Over to the Diamond last night, the MLB playoff resumes this evening with a Game 5 in the NLDS between the Dodgers and the Nationals. Los Angeles starts Rich Hill on the mound. For the Nats, Max Scherzer gets the nod. Scherzer will try to give the city of Washington, D.C. its first postseason series win since 1924. The 2016 NHL season kicked off last night with a bang, and rookie Austin Matthews put on a show. The #1 pick scored a record 4 goals in his debut for the Maple Leafs. His efforts, however, weren't enough to win. Toronto lost to Ottawa 5-4 in overtime. And some bad news in Los Angeles. The Kings general manager says goalie Jonathan Quick will miss significant time with a lower body injury. Sidney Crosby knows a little bit something about the injury bug. The Penguins captain is still recovering from a concussion and will not play in tonight's matchup with Washington. Meanwhile, it's a big night for hockey in New York. Buffalo takes on Montreal at 7 o'clock tonight. The Sabres will be without their leading goal scorer from last year. Jack Eichel suffered a high ankle sprain in practice yesterday and could miss up to 2 months recovering. And at Madison Square Garden, it's the battle for New York City. The Islanders and the Rangers square off tonight in the first opening day matchup at MSG since 2007. Both teams made it to the playoffs last season. The Rangers bowed out to the eventual champions in the first round. The Islanders were bested in the second round by the Lightning. Game time is set for 7 o'clock. Finally, tonight, the Denver Broncos visits the San Diego Chargers for this week's edition of Thursday Night Football. Broncos quarterback Trevor Siemian is expected to start after missing Denver's last game with a shoulder injury. The AFC West rivalry kicks off tonight at 8:25. And guys, I found a really interesting stat for you for Thursday night. The home teams, since Thursday night started, have won the game 63% of the time. That's well above the percentage for like Sunday or Monday night games. I just found that interesting.
That is interesting.
Well, who do you think is going to win tonight then?
Well, I don't know why. You know, Denver's a great team, but I'm not going to bet against history. I'll take the Chargers.
All right. And on the diamond, my Washington Nationals are playing in Game 5 of the NLDS today. Who do you got there, them or the Dodgers?
I think it's going to be the Dodgers tonight. Max Scherzer said earlier today that this is the biggest game of his career. I wouldn't want to put that much pressure on myself, so I think the Dodgers pull it out.
Ooh, you're killing me.
Guess we'll have to see. All right, and Citrus TV News, we'll be right back.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? It may be too late to check when you're on the road. Fortunately, you're on the couch. Don't think you know. Know you know.
So Brennan, what is the weather going to be like when we wake up in the morning?
Tomorrow, not the best day overall, but a bit better than today. Let's take a look at your day planner for tomorrow. Not bad overall. High is about mid-50s. We're looking at 41 at 9 a.m., 50 at noon. It's going to be cooling down a little bit from your high of 55 to 53 by 6 p.m. Mostly sunny throughout the day. Unfortunately, it's going to be getting pretty cold into the evening hours.
So it was raining today, unfortunately. Do you think it's going to continue throughout the rest of the week?
Well, it's going to not rain on Friday or Saturday, luckily. However, we do have a front moving into the area Saturday evening that will be here Monday. Another chance for some rain on Tuesday. So it's fall. There's going to be some rain in the area.
That's unfortunate.
Brennan, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
On this day in history, in 1792, the cornerstone of the White House was laid.
And after years of construction, John Adams became the first president to live in the White House in 1800.
This marks the 224-year anniversary of the occasion. And that's all the news for now. Thank you for joining us this evening.
You can follow Citrus TV News on all social media and check us out at CitrusTV.com for more news. I'm Jackie Prager.
And I'm Amico. Check back in at 7:30 for Talking Points. Have a great night, Syracuse.